Now, when the second album came out, De La Soul is Dead, it seemed like y'all, I mean, like, what was the significance of, you know, the daisy pot being crushed and the name De La Soul is Dead? Because it really seems like you guys were addressing, you know, the image of the first album.
Well, it was definitely denouncing the image, because the overall image of the group is about creativity and the music. And the message of, I think the message was misconstrued, you know, where it was, what we'll say now, reminding people of the hippie era, but it became something so manufactured that it started to seem like people started to think this is what we were, this is who we are, and we weren't that. Everything about us was more so about the music.
It was also about taking control as well.
Yeah.
Like, we had to take the control out of the media's hand and out of the label's hand. And I think crushing that flower pot was like, okay, now what y'all got to work with? We're in control now. So, you know, let's basically start with a clean slate, and now let us direct our forward motion. It was taking the power out of the hands of people who actually didn't know how to use the power that we were creating.
It was definitely a challenge for us to stand up to a visual. You know, coming from an era of listening to rap where you could envision what Kane looked like or what MC Shan looked like, but once the visual era came about, it was just us taking control of that, as Dave was saying. You know, we didn't want to be a group that all you saw was a flower, no different than how a great MC could be like Onyx, how they could be great MCs, but all you saw was the bald head, or all you see is the dreads on Das Effects. But once that fad or that fashion is no longer in, you're looking for the next, you know, group to latch on that fits in the current state of outerwear. We wanted to let you know that it was about De La Soul, regardless of Dave had dreads in the first album, cut them all off in the second album. It's the words, it's the music. That is what was more important.
You know, I remember on, what was the song? Please Porridge. And Mace, you had the line, you know, why do people think just because we speak peace, we can't blow no joints?
Well, you know
was the whole, you know, based on that line, do you think that people thought that y'all was soft just because you did the whole Daisy thing, and De La Soul's Dead was kind of an addressing of that?
Well, throughout the first album, we did encounter some instances where people thought just because we made a certain type of music that we were just a certain type of way. That, you know, that we just like, so, you know, some people actually thought we were punks, you know, and here it is making a certain style of music, and when you run into conflict, you know, a lot of people would expect they would expect us to be more on the downside of the conflict. So it would be expected that it was kind of expected for me to get my ass whooped until people learn differently. And it becomes more inflamed because
the peace guys,
because of what we perceive to be, right. You know. So here it is when I'm coming out on the top side of a situation because I'm truly defending myself. You know, it's more glamorized because I wasn't supposed to win. You know, according to what I'm perceived to be.
Well, I remember, I grew up in the Bay, and I remember there was a show a long time ago. I think it was you and Tribe, and someone tried to run up on stage and be disrespectful or something, and they got stomped out by, I think, both crews on stage a long time ago.
Yeah, that's kind of how that, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And it went.
Stand frame, right?
Yeah, and yeah, that's one of those instances where you find someone being really disrespectful because they perceive you to be soft. You know, somebody was completely all out flagrant that day and got their ass handed to them pretty much.
$25 million bail, like.
I'm going in there and rob whoever got the $25 million bail. I'm taking everything out of his house because he won't be coming back.
Let's go and hit him now.
I've been so used to playing the back for so long that doing what I'm doing now, it's like I didn't even realize that how differently people are looking at me already in that sense. Like, there are people now when I go out, like before, people never used to come up to me when I go out, but now when I go out, people always come up to me.